Welcome to Life Recovery Today with Stephen Arterburn. In the next half hour, you'll obtain insights and tools to transform your life using the biblical principles found in the 12-step program. We believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience because we all have struggles in life. Struggles with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, and relationships, to name a few. You'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through life recovery. Your host is Steve Arterburn, founder of New Life Ministries and Women of Faith, author of over 100 books, and teaching pastor at Northview Church in Carmel, Indiana, one of the 20 largest churches in America. Steve is the co-editor of the Life Recovery Bible, the #1 selling recovery Bible. With over 3 million copies sold, this is the Bible given to inmates by Prison Fellowship and the Pew Bible for the Salvation Army. Now here's Steve.
Hi there, Steve Arterburn here, and welcome to another session of Life Recovery Today. I want to be sure that you understand what we're talking about when we're talking about recovery. You know, we're talking about discipleship, we're talking about transformation, and we're talking about building character. That's what those 12 steps are all about. And if you haven't heard me say this before, those steps were developed by this guy, Bill Wilson, or Bill W., and a Dr. Bob. And Dr. Bob, in the last speech he ever gave, he said, we didn't get these by making them up, these steps. We got them from the good book, especially 1 Corinthians 13, the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes especially, and then the book of James. So all of Life Recovery is all about the Bible, and we are Bible people right here. In fact, you know, when you start the 12 steps, you start with an admission that you can't handle whatever it is you're trying to get rid of. You can't do it. That's a realization. It's a big one. Then the second thing is this realization or this acceptance that God could. And then we get to the third step, which we're going to deal with today, where we finally surrender and we let God do what only God can do. Now, sadly, we've been waiting for God to do what God has been waiting for us to do. But when we start to cooperate with God, amazing things happen. Now, in our program today, Terri Ward is going to present step number 3. Terri has been with us for, I think, 3 years now, and she's built life recovery groups all over the country. She is the coordinator for life recovery. She has a degree in substance abuse counseling, and she helps people start groups. And all you have to do is call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and she'll tell you how to start a group. And Terri is an amazing example of the freedom that recovery can bring and the transformation. And you'll hear it in her voice and in her life. Here's a hero of mine, Terri Ward, on the third step.
Hi there, I'm Terri Ward, and today we're going to be talking about step 3. And step 3 says we made a decision to turn our will and our life over to the care of God. And although it's just a decision, it's a very important decision. It's where we become willing to go on with the rest of the work, where we become willing to surrender to that power which is God. It's where we are all in for our recovery. You know, long ago, I was in a traditional 12-step group, and I had been all in to my addiction and my struggles previously. So by the time I came to a place of powerlessness and willingness to do this work, I was all in for my recovery. And, you know, they even called me Big Book Girl because I carried the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous around everywhere I went. And I was always reading from it or learning from it or sharing from it or ready to take others through the steps, ready to share what I had learned, the freedom that I had been given through the process of surrender and willingness to work these steps. You know, I didn't know Jesus when I started the work of the 12 steps, but God used those steps to lead me straight into a relationship with Jesus, where he became not only my higher power, but he became Lord of my life. That willingness to do the next right step led me straight to Jesus. And that's what led me here today. That's why I get the privilege of sharing with you about step three of the 12 steps of life recovery. Now, I've said that it's an important decision. I believe that it's the pivotal point in the program where we come to the fork in the road and we make that decision to take the path of life or continue on down the path of destruction. And, I don't dare minimize the importance of each and every step and the importance of taking each step in order. Although we're talking about step 3 today, I'm assuming that we've already, step 1 has already become our truth, that we've already accepted that we are powerless over our struggles and that life has become unmanageable, leading us to step 2, where we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity, that power which is God. So here we are at step 3, and we don't skip around and we don't pick and choose which steps we're going to take. We take them in the order in which they've been given to us. If we want the same results as those who have gone before us and found freedom, we take them in the same order that they took them. We take the same path that they took. It's like they left us a recipe for freedom, a recipe for sobriety. And if we want that same result, we take that recipe and follow it step by step in the order that it was written. Having said that, I know that step 1 is hard to swallow. It doesn't sound like good news, does it? But the good news of step 2 comes quickly. And so bringing us to step 3, where it's my favorite step. There's something so very powerful about being able to lay down all of our struggles and all of our problems and all of this heaviness that we've been carrying around for so very long, to lay it down and allow God to come in and take it out of our hands. And you begin immediately to feel peace flowing in. You begin to feel the fear lifting. You begin to feel power, new power, God's power flowing in. And it's just 2 steps ago that we were completely powerless. All of a sudden now we begin to feel God's power flowing in, and we get a vision of what our life can be like in that moment. Yes, there's something so very powerful about step 3. Another example of going from powerless to powerful in 3 simple steps is 2 Corinthians 1:9, where he says, we felt we were doomed to die and saw how powerless we were to help ourselves. But that was good, for then we put everything into the hands of God, who alone can save us. Step 1, 2, and 3, powerless to powerful in 3 simple steps. I did say simple, didn't I? I didn't say easy. I said simple. There are 3 simple steps to get us to this place. Some call it mental gymnastics. I call it the foundation of the program, the foundation that we lay in order to build on with the rest of the steps. We need a firm foundation, a solid foundation. And we get that by surrendering completely, fully, being all in. Surrender is a little scary to many of us. And I think that's because we relate surrender to the word defeat. It's always gone hand in hand. Surrender equals defeat. In battle, when one side raises their hand in surrender, they're considered defeated. But in the upside down world of recovery, surrender no longer equals defeat. Surrender is the beginning of our victory. Surrender equals beginning of victory. So I've been getting my needs met no matter what I have to do in order to get my needs met. I'm using whatever means necessary. I'm manipulative. I'm deceptive. I'm at the core, I'm selfish and self-centered. If I take an honest look at my life, I can see where self-will has run riot, as they say. So my best ideas have gotten me here to this place to where I'm at, this mess that I've created. My best tools got me here. And I've been working with a broken set of tools, trying to fix my problem with a broken set of tools. And I can tell you, more of me at me makes a bigger mess. Using broken tools to fix my problem makes a bigger problem. What I need is a new set of tools. I need a set of tools that God gives to me. But in order to get those new set of tools, I have to surrender the old ones. But if I'm willing to give up these old things that may have worked for me at one time, God gives me a brand new set of tools that I can use the rest of my life. And that life is going to be a power-filled life, not a powerless life, but a power-filled life through God's power. You know, the Life Recovery Workbook on page 23 says that we intentionally release our hopes, dreams, choices, addictions, compulsions, and relationships. And we give God control over all of it. This is a one-time commitment, and it is also the step that opens the door to a lifelong endeavor. We practice it with ever-increasing willingness and trust. So, two things there I want to point out is that it's a one-time commitment that becomes a lifelong endeavor. So we make this commitment now, and then we have this tool in our toolkit, in our tool chest for the rest of our life. It's a lifelong endeavor of every time we try to pick it back up, we can lay it back down. Not only that, but we are learning a whole new set of tools to take throughout our life to where we never have to come to this place again if we stay surrendered. And the other thing I see is the word willingness once again, willingness and trust. So it's important that we see that word willingness, not willpower. Willpower is in our own strength, right? But willingness to allow His power to come in. It's all about being willing. So I may be almost willing or sort of willing, or, I may be still clinging to some of the old ideas. And as long as I'm clinging to old ideas or thinking I have, one more trick up my sleeve, I'm not going to reach out and grab hold of the lifeline that's being handed to me. So I have to be willing to let go of the old in order to receive the new. And if I'm not quite there yet, I can ask God to help me be willing. I may need to pray, God, give me the willingness to have willingness. But it's okay to ask God. He's listening and He cares. And He wants freedom for you just as much as you want it for yourself. When you're all in, He meets you there in order to show you where He wants to take you. He says, when you seek me, you will find me. When you seek me with all of your heart. May you seek Him now. So that's the why of step 3. And when I come back, I'm going to talk more about the how.
Are you going through your struggles alone? Do you want someone to talk to help you through your pain? Do you feel like a failure when you relapse again, telling yourself, next time will be different? Don't walk this path alone anymore. Join a life recovery group today and be a person that your friends and family can be proud of. God created us to be in community, and we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country, and if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. Life Recovery brings recovery to you, right where you are. You'll take a journey with others to find healing and freedom. Whether you're looking to join a group or start one, New Life Ministries is here for you. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or visit liferecoverytoday.net. It's hard to find a trusted friend when you're in crisis. Someone who's been there and understands, but who also has the training and skill to give you practical help. Family, friends, and churches want to help, but often they're not equipped to care for those dealing with problems like addiction and pornography, infidelity, anger, depression. New Life Ministries is here to provide help and hope in life's hardest places. We're not focused on making people feel better. We're focused on helping people do the work that will help them be better. At New Life, we have resources available to help you, like books, DVDs, CDs, workshops, and our network of licensed counselors. If you need help, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and begin your new life today.
Welcome back. You know, Terri shared just how powerful willingness was in her recovery. And willingness is very powerful in any recovery, because until we're willing, humbly willing, what good is it to know you have a problem after you've worked through denial, want it to change? But that willingness piece, so very vital to us getting into a character building growth program. And that's what the 12 steps are. You know, she said that following the steps led her to a relationship with Jesus. Now, isn't that interesting? Because so many people, they don't understand that the 12 steps actually came out of the Bible. They think, well, it might lead you away from Jesus. Not true. She recognized that she had these tools of her own, and they got her into the problem. But when she surrendered to God, she got a new set of tools, and everything changed. But it required her surrender. The question I have for you would be, do you need surrender? Have you finally come to the end of yourself with your tools and said, okay, God, it's time. I'm going to let you do this? Well, listen to Terri as she continues to share about this so vital step, step 3, letting God do it.
So I've talked a lot about the why of step 3, and now I'd like to talk about the how. So you may be asking, what is the time frame for step 3, and when do I know, how do I know when I'm ready? And I can tell you that many groups are going to have different opinions about this and offer different guidelines on the time frame of step 3. But the most important thing to consider is the heart of the individual taking the steps. Have you come to a place of acceptance and realization that step 1 is your truth, that you are powerless over your struggle, and that your life has become unmanageable? If you can accept that, the truth of step 1 and the belief of step 2 that God can and will restore you to sanity, then that's when you are ready for step 3. That's when you're ready to make a decision to turn your will and your life over to God. That's when you're ready to surrender and go on with the rest of the work. I've seen this done in one day before. I've seen people do steps 1, 2, and 3 in one setting. Now, that's not the norm. It typically takes a little longer. I've seen it take a few months, and that's okay too. The important thing, like I said, is the heart of the individual under the supervision of a pastor, a mentor, a sponsor, or a trusted friend. But I have to caution you that it's important not to wait too long to take this step. It's important to take this step as soon as you have come to that place of realization, and not wait too long between steps, because you may find yourself in a worse place than when you started. The best place to be to take this step is completely out of ideas. We can't cling to any old ideas of how we can still manage to have one foot in and one foot out. We need to be all in. Half measures avail us nothing, meaning we have to be all in. We can't put half of the effort in. We can't put half of the willingness in and expect anything in return. We have to be all in order to get anything back. It's like going up to a Coke machine and putting in half the money. Nothing comes out. In order to get the desired result, we have to put everything into the hands of God. So you may say, I get that, but I need details. I need to know how this is going to work. I need to know. And I have to say, stop. Just stop right there. You don't have to fully understand and comprehend the power which is God, because you will not in this lifetime. You just have to believe that what those who have gone before you, that what happened for them can happen for you. What happened for me can happen for you. When you can accept that, then you can get off of step 3 and begin the work of clearing up the wreckage of your past. Most of us don't fully understand electromagnetic radiation, but it never stops us from using the microwave now, does it? We put our food in and we fully believe and expect it's going to come out hot without understanding the mechanics and what's working behind the scene. But we believe, and we've seen it before, so we believe it'll happen again. A lot of people say, I believe it when I see it. And I will say that if you believe it, you'll see it. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He says, those who carry heavy burdens in the NLT version, and I will give you rest. And, that's an invitation into a type of partnership with Jesus, where he becomes the strength in our weakness, where he actually says, take my yoke upon you. And if you've ever seen a yoke, there's room for 2. And he's in it with us. And he's going through these steps with us. And he's going to go through the rest of our life with us when we surrender to his power. So we need to keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. Basically, you're fired. You're fired from running your life. You have a new boss. And he's all knowing and he's all powerful. And he's going to guide you from here on out. He's the coach. Your job now is to suit up and get on the sideline and get ready for the next right step. So ask yourself, are you now willing? Are you now ready to be all in? Are you now ready to go on with the rest of the work? If you can sincerely say, I'm ready, then I say, get down on your knees, preferably with a sponsor, a mentor, pastor, trusted friend, and surrender to God, surrender to his power, surrender to his will and his way of life. Say that prayer of surrender. If you're still on the fence, if you're still not 100% sure that you can fully give yourself to God, to this program, then, take the Life Recovery Workbook and work from step 1 through to step 3. There's so many deep diving questions that will help you think through some of those roadblocks, some of those barriers that are keeping you from making this important decision. Once you get to that place, though, I believe, you've heard the phrase, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. If that's you, then get down on your knees and get ready for this prayer. God says, when you seek me, you will find me when you seek me with all of your heart. That's a promise. So you need to acknowledge that you can't, he can, and that you're going to let him. My moment of step 3 was at a 12-step meeting, and there was a room full of girls who had already gone before me and found freedom through working the steps, and they were on their knees in the circle with me, and my sponsor was right beside me, and the other girls were praying for me as my sponsor repeated the 3rd step prayer in the big book, and I repeated after her, God, I offer myself to you to build with me and do with me as you will. Relieve me of the bondage of self so that I can better do your will, and take away these difficulties so that victory over them can bear witness to those that I would help with your power, your love, and your way of life. May I do your will always. Wow, what a commitment. What a powerful commitment. But I'm here to tell you that in that moment, the fear lifted, the shame began to melt away, the new power began to flow in, and peace for the first time in a long time, I began to feel peace. And I caught a vision of what my life could be like. And it was right after that I met Jesus, that Jesus became the higher power, the Lord of my life. Right after that, that step was what led me into a relationship with Jesus. The words are optional. You don't have to recite the third step prayer from the big book. You don't have to recite a prayer that anyone has handed you. It's, again, the heart. That's what's important. The position of the heart is in the right place, and it's in a place of complete surrender. Open-handed. And I think it's important. The posture is important, that we're on our knees and our hands are open, and hopefully that there is someone beside you. But it's okay if you're there. God is there with you. He meets you there. And it's a good thing that fear is lifted, that fear is gone, and that peace is settling in, because here comes step 4, and you can be fearless, because step 4 is where the rubber meets the road, but God is with you. He is with you in it, and his power is going to be made perfect in your weakness. And you can know, and you can remember this, that many have gone before you, and many are going to be willing to come alongside you on this journey. So I sure hope that my personal experience with step 3 has been helpful to you. And if you have any questions about anything that I've shared, or if you'd like to know more about life recovery groups, please don't hesitate to give me a call at 800-639-5433. Until next time, God bless you all. And I am always happy to talk.
Welcome back. Well, I hope that at this point, you're ready to let go. You're ready to surrender. I mean, if you haven't already, that you're able to say, I'm all in. That's what I pray for you. Now, if you are, we would love to help you to continue on that journey. In fact, you can call 1-800-NEW-LIFE if you just want to have a conversation with Terri Ward. She's there. She's there for you. And when you call us, we can either help you find a group, or we can help you start a group. Now, a group means that you and one other person want to get better together. Just you and one other. That's it. And we can help you do it. We've got a kit on how to start a group. It's all right there. I want to thank you for coming and watching today. Please tell somebody about the program, somebody that needs the help of God to change. See you next time.
Thanks for joining us for Life Recovery Today with Stephen Arterburn. We hope this program has helped you integrate God's truth and wisdom into your recovery journey. This program is brought to you by New Life Ministries, and it's your support that keeps this program on the air. When you contact us for any reason, be sure to let us know that you watch on NRB. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to liferecoverytoday.net. Please join us again next week for more Life Recovery Today.